What about that idea that outlining kills spontaneity?
Well, that's a good question. One of the things that writers face when they sit down to write is that they're kind of being pulled in two different directions. Not only are they having to sort out what goes on in a scene and how characters are going to act and react to each other, but they're also grappling with how to take those ideas and turn them into compelling prose on the page. So what kind of language to use, what kind of imagery to use, the emotional nuances of the scene. So outlining, it may seem like it kills spontaneity, but really it kind of takes one of those processes and allows you to just do it first, so that when you get to the page, you still have that spontaneous feeling of creating the atmosphere, creating the moment, choosing the language. So I would say it actually helps you be spontaneous, because you're not sitting there tortured wondering, oh boy, what do these characters need to do in this scene? What needs to happen? How do I move them from this point in the story to that point in the story? What about if I get a brilliant idea and it's not actually in the outline I've created? As I'm writing, I come up with something and I think, oh, that's amazing, but I've already committed to this outline. What do I do then?
It's sort of a cup half full, cup half empty, I think, in that case. What I recommend to students, certainly early on in the writing, if they've spent a good chunk of time coming up with a solid outline, they've begun writing 20 pages in, they think, it's all wrong, I've just had this. What I would say at that point is, make a note of that idea. It's not going to get lost. You're going to come back and do many passes through this draft, and there may be a chance to incorporate that down the road. But try your best to stick to and respect the work that you've put into that outline, and try and go forward with it as far possibly as you can. You can always come back and incorporate that brilliant idea in a later draft. If you get further and further in and you realize that really actually would solve so many problems, what I would suggest is that you take that idea, revisit your outline, and work it in and do another outline with that, and then work from there, so that you always do still have a plan to help you move forward. You're not just sort of willy-nilly tossing in these thunderbolts that may or may not be great revelations. What if I'm a writer who says to you, well, I don't actually know what my story is yet. I have a character who's really compelling that I want to write about, or I'm really interested in this particular place and time. I want to write about, Berlin in the 1930s or something like that, but I don't know what my story is that I want to tell. How can I possibly outline that?
That is exactly the reason to do an outline. If you're approaching, let's say, a 300-page draft with just a hazy idea of a place and a time, and not even, a clear idea of your characters, you're going to find very quickly that that inspiration will last you maybe 20 pages, 30 pages, 40 pages, and you're going to hit a wall. So I would say take that enthusiasm that you have and focus it into your outline. Try to figure out, what is the story? Who are the characters? What are the conflicts? That can only help you further down the road. Having that rush of excitement and energy is a great thing, but having a solid plan to follow to give that rush of excitement and energy a channel is even more important.